Yeah. Hey, I got 'em starstruck. They watching my moves, I got 'em starstruck. Out here breaking the rules, I got 'em starstruck. I got nothing to lose, so I'm letting it loose. Out here paying my dues, I got 'em starstruck.
Welcome to week 9 of the high school football season. Welcome to Football Friday night. Many teams will know their postseason fates by the end of the night, and we'll have a first-hand look because we have highlights from 33 of our local schools, guys. 33.
That's right, Adam. And that includes the entire Western Buckeye League schedule and all of our Northwest Conference lineup as well.
And a good look at the MAC, too. The #1 team in Division 7, Marion Local, looks to stay perfect in order to set up a Week 10 conference title showdown with Coldwater.
Now, before they take on the Cavs, let's not get ahead of ourselves. No slouch tonight. Minster's the #3 team in Division 7. Their only loss was by 3 points to Coldwater in Week 5. In the first, Flyers with the ball on third down. Justin Knopf, Casey's got me. Escapes pressure, converts, running for 30 yards to the red zone. It's good, and that play leads to the quarterback calling his own number again, getting the Flyers on the board with the score 7-0 Marion Local. And with under a minute to play in the quarter, Marion Local driving again and looking to take a shot down the field. But Minster's Cole Richard has other plans as he tracks down that interception. Huge play for the Wildcats, still down by 7. Now moving ahead to the second quarter, Flyers on the goal line. Drew Louse gets the carry. The senior will make his way into the end zone as Marion Local gets the shutout. They win 21-0. Next up, switching gears over to Auglaize County. A pair of 4-4 teams meet at Cardinal Stadium as New Bremen plays host to St. Henry. Takes on St. Henry, I should say. These two teams control their own destiny with playoffs quickly approaching. We pick action up in the second half. New Bremen up 14-7 in the third quarter. Redskins in the red zone, but the Cardinal defense came to play as Aaron Webker tracks down the Skids QB for the sack that forced the fourth down. Game remains 14-7 after the missed field goal. But the Skins will find themselves back in the same position. This time it's Jack Hulsman momentarily for Charlie Whirling, and the junior will hook up with Carson Harrod in the back corner of the end zone for the touchdown. Just like that, we're tied at 14. Now to the fourth quarter. New Bremen looking for an answer, but St. Henry's Brody Schwartz and company will have something different in mind as the senior gets the tackle for the loss. The sack. St. Henry gets the road win 21-14. The rest of the MAC, Coldwater, a winner over Versailles, 52-14. St. John's wins 40-21 over Parkway. And in Fort Recovery, Rockets win at 49-6.
Meanwhile, in Toledo, undefeated Lima Senior battles Scott. The Spartans attempt to stay perfect in T-Cal play. In the first quarter, Lima Senior has the lead. It's Shanice Hall with the pump fake. He connects with Montre Davis. That makes it 12-0 Spartans. Later in the quarter, Scott has the ball, and the QB is under pressure. He's looking for an open man, but here is Zamir Barnett with the pick, and Barnett takes it all the way into Scott territory. This will put Lima Senior in great field position. And moments later, Tavion James takes the handoff, and you can give him 6 more points. Lima Senior wins 49-0.
You don't need to see that Lima Senior wins pretty easily there.
Well, guys, let's buckle up. Highlights from all 5 games on the WBL slate. We start with the league champions. Last week, Wapak clinched at least a share of their 4th straight title. They look to take it outright against the high-flying Bath offense in our Football Friday night Spotlight game.
Tonight's Football Friday night Spotlight game is brought to you by Citizens National Bank.
The top 2 scoring offenses in the league, each averaging over 34 a game. Both defenses will be tested tonight. Bath coming off a statement shutout, holding Defiant scoreless, while Wapak's top-ranked unit has allowed the fewest points in the WBL. And after turning over Bath on downs, Redskin offense marches right down the field, capped off by the 11-yard Caleb Moyer QB keeper, 7-0 Wapak. Next Redskin possession, Moyer through the air, this time to Caden Page. He finds 28 yards of space. Bath punches the ball loose. Darren Hauser falls on it. Wapak drive continues down to the 4-yard line. Moyer, his 2nd rushing score of the night, 14-0 end of the first quarter. Wildcats' 3rd possession, 3rd time's the charm. Zach Welsh gives to Mikey Hale for a 25-yard score on the board, but 14-6 after the extra point blocked. Redskins, however, 3 for 3 scoring on their first 3 drives. Moyer to Page, junior to junior connection. We've got another year of that duo ahead, guys. That's dangerous for the WBL as the Redskins outright champs for just the 2nd time in 9 years, 48-20 over Bath.
At Elida, the Bulldogs host St. Mary's. Elida's student section here, and they are hyped per usual. St. Mary's fans, they made the trip north as well. St. Mary's chances at a home playoff game stay high with a win tonight. But what a game here. Elida's Ryan McGee drops back Drills the pass to Connor Kanoka. Great catch as 21-14 St. Mary's on top, though, in the second quarter. Here comes that run game, though. Colton Mabry hits the hole, finds his way to the next level. One man to beat. He doesn't quite get to the end zone, but he would punch it in the very next play. Trust me, guys, he's somewhere in this mess of players in the end zone. It's a 28-14 Rough Rider lead.
Football.
You know it. Back comes Elida McGue. Play action. Walks into the end zone. Elida hanging around as 28-21. A good game until the fourth when St. Mary's created a little separation. They win 52-31.
Meanwhile, we got a battle of the Bulldogs between Salida and Defiance. Both teams were 5-3 coming into tonight, and both teams attempt to bounce back from a rough Week 8 outing. We'll start off in the first. Bobby Morris shuffles it off to John Lutz, and the senior works his way down the sidelines. That'll be a first down and more as Salida keeps the chains moving. Later in the drive, it's Parker Berkey who gets the handoff, and the junior puts Salina on the board. They now lead 7-0. To the second quarter, Salina is looking for more, but the Dogs in blue have other ideas as King Gibbs gets a big-time sack, a loss of 8 on that play. And now Defiance is looking for some offense on their end, but Salina can play some defense too. King Warrants comes up with the INT. Salina wins this battle, 28-6.
Over at Shawnee, after a 2-0 start, the Indians have lost their last 6. They have to win out for any realistic shot at the playoffs. For OG, their only win last year came in this matchup. 4-4 coming into tonight, however, up just 14-7 at halftime. We go late third quarter, fourth down Shawnee, and Dane Dooling blows up the backfield Titans with the turnover on downs at their own 42-yard line. Now, third down for Peyton Kuhlman. Back to pass, ball tipped at the line. Is it a Shawnee pick? No. Dooling, lined up at tight end, comes down with it. Oh, my goodness, nobody's going to catch him. A 55-yard broken play touchdown.
Just how they drew it up. Yep.
Right. OG up 21-7. Fourth quarter, Indians pushing for a comeback. Fourth and long, Caleb Bacom finds Reese Davidson. They overcome it and move the chains. Speaking of Shawnee quarterbacks, J.J. Spiker back in the lineup after missing a couple weeks with injury. He's been moved to running back. That won't stop the junior, though, from finding the end zone tonight. 21-14, Tribe back within a score. However, that's as close as they get. Titans narrowly escape Shawnee and knock the Indians' playoff chances down to 1%.
Well, Van Wert hopes to keep their playoff chances alive. They'll need a win against Kenton tonight or Elida next week. Here we go. Van Wert marching on their opening drive, trying to punch it in. QB Briston Wise, but Kenton defender Maddox Hamel comes up with the strip, the fumble, the recovery. A huge stop for the Wildcats defense early on. Van Wert back on offense now after a Kenton punt. This time Wise emphasizes ball security as he calls his own number up the middle. Cougars go on top, 7-0. Let's go to the second quarter. Van Wert staying on the offensive attack. It's Briston Wise again running the QB counter, busts through the defense, and wins the foot race to the end zone as the Cougars are now up 14-0. A lot of scoring in this one. Kenton finding some rhythm eventually, though, on offense. A long drive to put them inside the 5-yard line, and then a handoff to Grady Clayman Beasley as he punches it in for 6. Van Wert holds on to keep their playoff chances alive. A 45-44 final. Whew. All right, let's get a breather here, shall we? Our first break coming up. We go to the NWC, BVC highlights and scores straight ahead. Welcome back to Football Friday Night. Tony, let's turn to the Northwest Conference. We go, got a piece of all 4 games tonight, per usual.
Absolutely, Adam. We have 3 teams within 1 game of each other in the conference. 2 of those 3 teams collide in Putnam County. LCC looks to snap Columbus Grove's 8-game winning streak and hand the Bulldogs their first conference loss of the season. But it'll be a tough task to slow down CG, seeing how the Bulldogs have the league's best offense. Well, the T-Birds have something to say about that. Down by 7 in the first, it's number 7 who calls his own number. Brady Parker takes it in for the T-Birds' first score. We're tied up at 7. Now it's time for Grove to respond. Trent Barraza takes the handoff, and look at him take off. The senior Bulldog dodges several tackles, and he brings it all the way to the 22-yard line. That's a gain of 58 yards, guys. And that will set up this easy rushing TD for CG. Barraza punches it in for the score, and Grove goes back on top, 14-7. And after an LCC turnover, Grove gets the ball right back, and Barraza runs it back. The Bulldogs remain undefeated with a 28-20 victory.
Well, hey, shout out LCC for hanging with them. But with the win for the Bulldogs, they're heading into the Week 10 NWC title game undefeated. Now, the 8-0 Bluffton Pirates will look to join them. The Pirates have earned the state's number 4 rank in Division 6, scoring 30+ in every game, holding their first 7 opponents to 7 or less. They take on Allen East at Harmon Field. It's the field's 100th birthday, guys. Certainly, Bluffton will be celebrating. Just under 3 minutes in, Tate Gieske tucks, keeps, puts the Pirates on the board. scored first 7-0. Next Bluffton possession, Landon Worcester at the goal line, defending NWC Player of the Year. Makes it 14-zip and still not finished as far as the first quarter goes. Noah Bricker's on the sweep, dodges a couple tacklers, sheds one more. 20-0 Pirates lead big after one. They just keep rolling all the way to halftime. 36-0 at the break. Pirates win big, 43-7, setting up an outright NWC title rematch next week on home turf with Columbus Grove.
Turned out to be a happy birthday indeed. Fort Laramie looks locked into the playoffs, while Jefferson needs to beat Fort Laramie tonight or Spencerville next week to have a shot. The Wildcats are on offense, hoping to strike first in this one. They're rolling to the left, looking down the field, but it's Fort Laramie's Cole Barhorse coming down with the interception. We are headed the other way, and the Redskins will convert the turnover to points. Ray Hoeing punches it in from up close. 7-0 road team. Later, a play of the week candidate coming up. Gabe Hart will launch it towards the near sideline, and look at the jump ball. Just watch Thomas Hoeing.
Oh my gosh.
Randy Moss would be proud. Touchdown Fort Laramie. All Redskins in this one, 61-13.
And we wrap up the NWC with Crestview and Spencerville. Both teams' playoff fates likely out of their hands now. The Bearcats are in. Knights would need a miracle, and it starts with repeating last year's 42-point shutout in this matchup. They're making their case early. Opening drive, Braxton Leaf takes the handoff, bounces outside, and slips through the arms of the defender into the end zone. 7-0 Crestview. Knights with the ball again, and once again capping off the drive, feeding it to Leaf, who muscles his way across the plane. 3 scores in the first half for the junior. Spencerville fighting to get back in this game. Carter Orr bobbles the snap, but keeps his composure and finds Austin McMichael wide open for the touchdown, trailing 14-7. But Crestview unfazed as Bryson Penix throws a jump ball to Ren Sheets. The 6'6 senior mosses his defender. 28-7 at halftime. Knights win 42-13 to round out our Week 9 slate in the NWC.
Ada and Pandora Gilboa attempt to keep pace in the BVC title hunt. The Bulldogs and the Rockets are meeting for the first time since 2008. Ada does enter this showdown on a hot streak, winning 5 straight. The Bulldogs are down by 7 to start the second half. Levi Green takes the snap. On the quarterback keeper, the senior works his way around the defense. Look at him go. 28 yards to pay dirt, and Ada has tied the game up at 14. But it won't be tied for long. Andrew Miller makes his way past the goal line for the 8-yard TD, and PG is back on top by 7. And Ada is looking for an answer, but the Rockets will ground the Bulldogs' passing game. Ben Burkholder comes up with the interception right here, and PG takes over. To the fourth quarter, it's Miller time, as Andrew Miller takes the handoff once more. This time, he goes for 16 yards, touchdown Pandora Gilboa, and the Rockets win 34-14.
All right, Liberty Benton is the Blanchard Valley League champs with a win over Arcadia tonight. The Eagles have the playoffs and home field essentially locked up. Arcadia is trying to avoid a winless season. First quarter, Liberty Benton QB Trevin Lieb hands it off to Zach Elkert for a touchdown. A long run here as LB quickly goes up 7-0. Get used to that. Still in the first quarter. Later, it's second and goal from the 5. Lieb hands off to Elkert once again. We build the drama. LB goes up 14-0. They are your champs. They win at 45-8. Elsewhere in the BVC, Lipsick and Arlington. Lipsick beats fellow playoff team Arlington 20-14. Elmwood Van Buren a 43-13 winner. Riverdale Macomb Panthers win big 49-6. And in the NWOAL, Patrick Henry is on top 26-7, a winner there. All right, it's time for our final break. Straight ahead, the NWCC, NLL, GMC highlights and scores coming up. Welcome back to Football Friday night for the final time. Let's now go to the Northwest Central Conference. 2 of the top teams going at it, Tony.
After dropping their Week 1 showdown against Ada, the USV Rams have rattled off 7 straight wins. Tonight, they have the opportunity to clinch at least a share of the NWCC title with a win against Hardin Northern. Since 2015, the Rams have a 7-2 record against the Polar Bears, and Upper Scioto Valley has won the last 3 meetings against them as well. Hardin Northern has the ball just before halftime, on 4th down. Nolan Hobson buries this field goal. Polar Bears now trail 16-10 at the half. The Rams waste no time to open up the third quarter. On the first play from scrimmage, Maddox Underwood is looking for daylight. He doesn't like what he sees, so he cuts back all the way across the field. He could go all the way.
Yes, sir.
A 52-yard touchdown run for the Rams senior makes it 22-10 USV after the missed extra point. Meanwhile, the Polar Bears are looking for some life. Alexander Wilson looks downfield for a long ball. He connects with Mason Stewart for the nice grab, but this drive unfortunately stalls out for Hardin Northern. So we head to the fourth quarter. The Rams are looking to ice the game, and who better to do it than Underwood? The senior cuts through the opposition, he's slicing his way through his defenders, and he's refusing to go down. Underwood takes it to the house for an 81-yard touchdown run. Upper Scioto Valley clinches a share of the league title as they win big on the road tonight, 38-10.
Rest of the NWCC like this. Ridgemont narrowly beating Corey Ross, but the Gophers home game for their first ever playoff game. Perry falls to Elgin 30-13. The Commodores playoff odds now 81%. Waynesfield Goshen cruises past Ridgedale 33-6. Central Buckeye Conference, Bellefountain annihilating Jonathan Alder 49-7. Indian Lake dominates Northwestern 41-19. Lakers, at least a share of the Mad River Division title is theirs. Benjamin Logan 17-9 falling at Springfield Shawnee. Let's go back to Hancock County. 3-5 Findlay hosting 6-2 Whitmer tonight. Trojans look to tune up against a fellow D1 foe. They'll have to hit the road to start the playoffs in week 1. It's Whitmer. In first quarter, all Whitmer. Brady Ford, pass complete to running back Jaden Jones. This one will put the Panthers up 14-0. Later in the first quarter, Findlay quarterback going to hand it off to Ramier Williams. Exchange is fumble. Fumble after the hit.
Yes.
Take a look at that.
Sheesh.
Trojans take a gut punch tonight, falling 37-6.
Let's get some Green Meadows Conference action here, can we? Antwerp is in the playoffs if they can beat Ayersville tonight and upset Paulding next week. The Pilots have a 3% chance at the playoffs with a win tonight. Third quarter, Ayersville up 14-0. It's 4th and 1. Hampton's Rogue launches the ball from Ayersville's 43-yard line to Caden Winslow, who takes it home for the first score of this one, or this moment, 14-7. Definitely not the first score of the game. Ayersville's Alex Sigler hands off later for a 5-yard touchdown. Ayersville's up 21-13. Fourth quarter, 21-all. Antwerp's Winslow, now at QB, runs a circle around the defense, 27-21. Ayersville back with it. Sigler gets the ball to Torian Knaven without our reporter or the defense even noticing. There he is. He runs it home to take a narrow 28-27 lead, but Antwerp comes back to win it. 33-28 is your final. Rest of the GMC, Hicksville at Edgerton, Aces lose 27-20. Panthers fall 21-18. Elsewhere, Wayne Trace at Fairview. Raiders needed a win, but fall 34-20. And finishing up the Three Rivers Conference, Lehman Catholic cruising 66-19. Riverside at home against Covington. Pirates win 26-14.
And exhale.
And I'm trying to check the score. Yes, Yankees lead 8-6.
Let's go.
Tony's Yankees lead 8-6 in the ninth inning over our Cleveland Guardians. But that will do it for Football Friday night. We will see you next week to end the regular season.